Okay, that was great. My phone ran out of memory, so I had to delete some stuff to continue this video. Anyways, we're back out here on the in-grain cutting board here that we were just talking about, and I was trying to find a way to speed up my sanding on these in-grain cutting boards because I said that the demand for them is very high. People love them; they're wonderful pieces, but they just take so long. And these are also these cutting boards right here. They're courtesy of Mark Spagnolo from the Wood Whisperer, so credit goes out to him for the design. So I was thinking about a way that I could speed up the process of this sanding. I was thinking, because this random orbital sander here, the top spins. So you hit this thing here, and the bottom spins, and that's what sands it while it vibrates at the same time. And I was thinking, if I could just put a rim around this thing, it would basically just sand itself. It would just float all around the cutting board, sanding the cutting board, and staying in between the frame. And my next problem was that the sander doesn't weigh heavy enough as is by itself to actually do efficient sanding on a cutting board. It's just going to be floating on the top because, like I said, this wood is so hard and it's ingrain, which makes it even harder. So I decided to put these jet clamps on top of it. Hey! Stop! Jeez. No. So I decided to put these really heavy duty jet clamps here, the 12-inch jet clamps, on my orbital sander. But I put these rags here to make sure it doesn't destroy the sander. And then after that, I clamp them up, and I use this Irwin quick clamp to stabilize them, because with all the vibrations of the sander, these things will just fall right off if you don't have them clamped together. And basically what it does is it just kind of floats all around the cutting board. It just floats all around the cutting board while the weight of the clamps keeps it pressed down enough to actually take off material. And it floats all around the cutting board, just sanding it, and I actually get to go now while these things are sanding, and I can go do these other projects. I can work on this bed frame. I can work on cabinets. I can work on doing something in my own house. So this thing here, I get to turn it on, and it's going to sand itself. I'll show you guys a little bit of an example of how it works here. And Festool is amazing. You just hit this trigger and it goes. So as you guys can see, it kind of just floats all around that cutting board, and it only goes to about 3/4 of the way up because the hose starts hitting and it won't let it go any farther. So all I have to do is just set this up in this jig right here, turn on the sander. It'll sand itself. It'll keep itself stable, even pressure with the jet clamps on it, and it just sands itself. It'll sand about 3/4 of this thing right there, and then afterwards I just turn it over and then start the sander, and it'll start the next one. So that when you want a cutting board, I can make them and not charge a ridiculous amount of money for them. Because otherwise, if I can't take off time with these things just take forever, way too much time to make. So now you will actually be able to start purchasing these. We're going to be selling them on my website. I'm going to be selling them in person. With the opening of the shop that's coming in just a few days, hopefully tomorrow, we should open up the shop to the public, and we can start placing orders. We will even start placing things on my website, so people that don't have direct contact with me can order them online with a piece of my woodwork that I have created with my own hands. And so hopefully we're going to be able to get the website up and running soon. It won't be up right away at MaydayMcDonald.com. It's not up right away, but hopefully in time. And just another thing on these cutting boards, Like I said, these things are wonderful. These things last forever. I'll show you the one that I got in my house, which is a finished piece. Alright. So this here is the cutting board right here. This is a little bit of a smaller version. I like the larger versions, but this is the one that I got in my house. And it has the bloodlines when you're cutting meat, or you can slap a watermelon on there and cut the thing, and it's not going to make a big mess all over your countertop. On the back side right here, there's handles. So the back side is completely flat except for these little handles right here, and it's all rounded over, so it's smooth. There's no sharp edges on anything. So these things are very nice. Has a salable finish on it, which is very hard. It's a very hard top coat, which protects this thing very well. And when it finally does start to go bad, all you got to do is just hit it with some oil, send it back to me. I'll, sand it down and put some more finish on it. I also got my signature here on the piece. I need to find a better place for it though than right in the middle, because half of it gets cut off by the Purple Heart. But anyways, this is one of the finished pieces, one of the smaller cutting boards that we have. It's not going to be as big as the larger ones that I'm working on right now. So this is one of the cutting boards, and that's my shop, and now you're kind of in my house. But anyways, that's my shop, and a little bit of the jig that I made, and so even a little bit of the ingrained butcher block cutting boards. So I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.